5 years ago, I came to Canada with a lot of doubts in my mind. The doubts were, will I adjust in the new culture? How expensive will it be to stay in Canada? Will I be able to afford it? Will I get a job here? How much will the job pay? And how will I get a PR here? You know, such kind of questions. If you have similar questions, then stick around because in this video, I'm going to explain everything that happened in the last 5 years, and maybe you can use my experience as an example of where you can be if you decide to come here. Also, I just wanted to say that it takes a lot of effort in creating such videos, so at any point during when you're watching the video, if you feel that this video is giving some value to you, please consider clicking that like button. It really helps in building the channel and gives us motivation to keep on going. With that being said, let's get started. To everyone who is new out here, my name is Ashar, and 3 months ago I completed my 5 years in Canada. I came here on 1st May 2017, but the decision to come here was actually taken 10 months ago in August of 2016. I decided that I wanted to do MBA, but cracking top colleges in India was extremely difficult. I did give CAT and got 86 percentile, but that was not good enough for cracking any of the top tier colleges. So I started looking for colleges outside the country. At that time, I shortlisted 4 schools and applied to them, and these schools were in the University of Alberta, Ryerson University, York University, and McMaster University. I gave GMAT without preparation and got a score of 550, which I know is a terrible score, but to my surprise, I still got offers from 3 universities. Alberta rejected me outright. Both Ryerson and York University gave me a conditional acceptance, and the condition was that they wanted me to take GMAT again and improve my score. And that's exactly what I did. I took out a month of time from my schedule and prepared for the test. I was concentrating only on English because that's where I needed to improve in order to improve my overall score. So after a month of thorough preparation, I took the test and my score improved from 550 to 560. Yeah, I know it's a terrible score still, but I guess my statement of purpose, my SOP, was good enough for the admission committee to believe that this candidate is good enough for their MBA program. I selected Ryerson over the other 3 schools because of 3 reasons. It was the cheapest among all, it was in Toronto, and it had a program length of 16 months, unlike other programs which had a program length of 2 years. The course duration was extremely important because 16 months basically meant that by August or September of 2018, I could literally have a job and start earning. Whereas if I was in some other program of 2 years, then I would have to wait for my courses to get over, and I can only get a job and start earning in June or July of 2019, which was something which I didn't want to do. Okay, let's talk about money. So fees, food, rent, and miscellaneous expenses, everything combined was 27 lakhs, which in Canadian currency is $60,000. I know it's a big amount, but getting a loan is not difficult. HDFC Credila and there are some other banks which have easy bank loan options, and once you get an offer from a university, it is pretty straightforward. There should not be a big issue in getting a loan. From May 2017 to August 2018, I was studying and I was also working part-time in a restaurant flipping burgers. I used to work 20 hours a week and got $300 for that, so monthly it came around $1,200, which was enough for my rent, my food, and my transportation. I had more fun working part-time at the restaurant than studying at the university. My MBA was going on, but I was not really enjoying it. I guess I had expectations. Maybe I was wondering that my days in my MBA would be similar to my engineering days, and it was nowhere close. Everything in that period was awful. This probably needs a video of its own, but for now I can say that the first 20 months in Canada were the worst 20 months in my entire life mentally. It's not all rainbows and sunshine. Anyway, I somehow managed to get the passing grades, which was 70%, and then I started applying for jobs. I didn't get a lot of calls, and after a few applications, I guess I stopped applying to them. I was disheartened that I wasn't getting any calls, I wasn't converting them, so I completely stopped. In total, I think I would have applied to only 20 jobs. But then a few months went by, and then in November, I applied to 2 more jobs. One was CMIC and the other was Norima. Now, Norima fizzled out after first 2 rounds, they just didn't come back to me, but CMIC got converted. I still remember that I was in the restaurant, I was making a burger or something like that, and then I got a call from the HR of CMIC, Lorena, and she started the call with congratulations. Obviously, I was very happy. They gave me an initial salary of $50,000 and asked me to join them as a QA analyst, and I accepted the offer. And just an hour later, I quit my job at A&W, the burger franchise, and I then never went back there. Meanwhile, Bashar had moved to Canada and he was staying in Winnipeg with his brother, and this is when I started looking for jobs in Winnipeg. Bashar's elder brother referred me for a QA consulting role at Norima again, and this helped in reviving my application. 7 months and 7 rounds of interview later, I got a job offer from Norima as a QA consultant, and they were offering me a $75,000 salary. So in July of 2019, I moved from Toronto to Winnipeg to start my new job. The starting few months in Winnipeg were tricky, but from October of 2019, everything started to fall in place. This was also the time that people were getting aware of the disease around them, and then people started losing jobs left, right, and center. The same thing happened in our company as well, but I was fortunate enough to not get affected by it. I just put my head down and continued working, and this really affected my performance. In June of 2020, positively affected. In June of 2020, I got promoted to a QA leads position, and they increased my salary from $75,000 per annum to $90,000 per annum. I also applied for the Canadian permanent residency in this time because I had completed my 1 year of work experience. So under Canadian experience class, I was eligible for permanent residency. I applied it, and then I think in June of 2020 itself, I got the application. I was a permanent resident of Canada. The next year in February 2021, I got married to Abiha, and then both of us came to Winnipeg to start our new lives. The first thing that we did was apply for Abiha's inland spousal sponsorship, and then in August of 2021, we started this YouTube channel to share our stories with you. So in summary, an average student who did not have a good GMAT score came to Canada, completed his MBA, applied to jobs, got one for $50,000, then in 7 months got a 50% jump for $75,000, and then again in a year got promoted to become a lead with a salary of $90,000. Now I have friends from the same batch of MBA who are earning way more than $90,000 per annum. But $90,000 is also not bad, and it is only going to grow from here onwards. If an average guy like me can do it, any one of you who is watching this video can do it. And while all of this was happening, Abiha and I were also applying for the inland spousal sponsorship. This is a way for her to get a PR based on my PR. And if you are in the same boat, then you can watch this video and get a clear understanding of what all steps you need to follow in order for your spouse or for your partner to get a PR in Canada.